Brief History of Shang Dynasty. The legendary King Tang sees his people suffering under the drought-stricken Xia dynasty. The last Jia ruler Ji is a cruel tyrant who lives only for his own pleasure. Tang declares that the Xia have lost the mandate of heaven. The Shang prepare for a revolution, arming their infantry with new metal technology. The Battle of Mingtiao begins, deciding the fate of the Central Plains. Domesticated horses and chariots give the Shang a massive military advantage. The Xia lines break, and the tyrant is forced into a humiliating retreat. Myth says Tang offered to sacrifice himself to end the drought once victory was won. Tang establishes the first Shang capital at Bo, using the Hangtu rammed earth technique. The Shang begin recording their history on bamboo strips and silk. A centripetal economy is born, where elites deliver tribute to the royal center. The Shang dynasty emerges, establishing a stable social order through religion and ritual. Priests prepare oracle bones from cattle, scapulae, or turtle shells for sacred divination. Small circular pits are carved to create thin spots for the fire's heat. King Wu Ding, a powerful leader, seeks guidance from his royal ancestors. A query is recorded. Will the high god Di grant a bountiful harvest? Intense thermal stress is applied to the bone to invoke the spirits. The bone fissures, creating patterns that reveal the will of the divine. The king acts as the head shaman, personally interpreting the cracks. Both the question and the ancestors' response are archived forever. These records at Yinshu provide the first unambiguous evidence of Chinese writing. No matter is too small for the bones, from warfare to toothaches. Divination is part of a complex belief system involving animism and shamanism. The oracle bones ensure that the ruling family remains the center of the universe. Shang craftspeople master bronze casting, the most important technology of the era.
这是饕餮，上古凶神，以它为文，镇宅保平安。
The Taoti motif, with its glaring eyes and fangs, dominates Shang art. They use the unique piece mold technique to cast massive, detailed object. Gathering copper and tin from far distances is a massive drain on labor. Precise heat control is required to melt the copper and tin alloy. The metal is poured into the gap between the mold and the core. Cooling takes time. The thick walls of Shang vessels make them incredibly heavy. The clay is broken off, revealing a gleaming bronze masterpiece. These vessels are symbols of ultimate power, wealth, and royal status. While most bronze is for ritual, the military receives deadly swords and spearheads. Bronze wine vessels like the Jew are essential for offerings to ancestors. Ritual music accompanies every major state event, signaling the presence of the divine. The multitudes provide the massive labor force needed for Shang public works. Rammed earth foundations support the grand palaces and massive city walls. Anyang serves as the final magnificent capital for the last 270 years. Shang society is rigidly stratified, with clear divisions between royals and peasants. While royals live in wooden palaces, commoners dwell in simple earthen pits. Cowrie shells from the Indian Ocean serve as the kingdom's currency. Jade is highly valued, believed to protect the soul and signify virtue. Sophisticated water management protects the city from the Yellow River's floods. Status is measured by the number and quality of bronzes owned. The fertile Loess sediment allows for a large surplus of food. The military must always be ready to fight barbarians from the outer steppes. The high city stands as the bedrock of Sinitic civilization. Lady Fu Hao is no ordinary wife. She owns her own land and commands her own people. One of King Wu Ding's 3 official wives, she rises to become a top general. The king grants her command, symbolized by the heavy 9-kilogram Yu axe. She leads more than half of the Shang's total military forces. Elite generals consistently follow her into the most dangerous campaigns. The Tufang have fought the Shang for generations, but she intends to end them. She is an expert in strategy, leading the earliest recorded large-scale ambush. The chariot gives her a mobile command platform to direct the chaos of battle. She utterly defeats the Tufang in a single, decisive battle. Success in battle provides prisoners who will be used for labor or sacrifice. The king and his consort ride side by side, celebrating their triumphant reunion. Fu Hao is also a high priestess, acting as a crucial intermediary to the spiritual realm. Shang cosmology centers on the four directions, with the king at the center. The high god Di rules the universe, but ancestors are the direct intercessors. The king is the supreme shaman, entering ritual trances to speak with spirits. Animism dictates that every object and natural force has its own soul. Nature spirits like the river power and mountain power must be appeased. Ancestor worship ensures the legitimacy of the royal lineage. Ritual meals and wine offerings are the sustenance of the dead. Scheduling of sacrifices is facilitated by a sophisticated astronomical calendar. Bird totemism plays a central role in the founding myths of the Shang. Shared ritual practices establish a stable social and religious order. Di oversees the outcome of battles and the success of every harvest. The planes of the human and the divine are inextricably intertwined. The king mourns deeply, breaking protocol to bury Fu Hao near his palace. A massive tomb is prepared, filled with the wealth she will need in the afterlife. 16 human victims are sacrificed to serve the queen for eternity. Animals, including horses and dogs, are buried as post-mortem attendants. Her vast jade collection includes human figurines and curling dragons. This rare artifact is believed to be a true likeness of Fu Hao herself. Over 1.6 metric tons of bronze represent her high social and military rank. This massive hoard of currency will buy her status in the underworld. Though her body will disintegrate, her legend will be preserved in bronze. The tomb is sealed and hidden, remaining untouched by looters for 3,000 years. Even after death, the king divines to see which ancestor kings have claimed her. The discovery in 1976 finally proves the historical reality of the warrior queen. The last king, Dijin, is a cruel tyrant who ignores his state duties.
好久。
Cruel punishments and high taxes alienate the Shang people. The subject Zhou state forms a coalition to end the Shang tyranny. Dijin is alarmed to hear the Zhou army is marching toward the capital. Most Shang troops are away at war, so the king arms his slaves to fight. The Battle of Muye begins as the planet Jupiter climbs to its highest point. Resentful of their treatment, the Shang slaves betray their king and join King Wu. The Zhou operation uses shock and awe to take the capital. Knowing he is finished, the last Shang king sets his palace and burns himself inside. King Wu claims the Mandate of Heaven, ending the Shang dynasty. A new era begins, focused on people and nature instead of prophet and gods. The foundations of Sinitic culture remain, buried, but never forgotten.